Shocking words, extremely shocking words of Antonio Conte yesterday in the press conference before Monza Napoli of today. Shocking? Absolutely yes. Surprising? At least not for me. But I really want to speak about Antonio Conte, that a lot of rumors are saying that he could possibly be the coach of the Bianconeri next season. Antonio back to Juve. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Juventini, Juventine, before speaking about Antonio Conte, let's congratulate Juventus Women. Yesterday they did something extraordinary, spectacular, because yesterday they won 2-0 against Milan in our home, which means mathematically we won the Scudetto. I went live also because I wanted to show respect to women football, to Juventus Women, but also to Juventus, because Juventus Women is Juventus, so I was extremely happy to see them again celebrating fantastic, beautiful project and work by Direttore Braghin, that is on top of the Juventus Women, in after difficult moments, after a lot of players left the team, after troubles with the ex-manager, changing coach, betting everything on Kanzi, bringing him back to women football, believing in a team where a lot of people were not believing it. We heard a lot of rumors, like Girelli, the one that scored yesterday a decisive brace, that she was finished 19 goals, a top scorer in Serie A women, about to score her 20th goal. Like a lot of players that we had in our team since day one, and we are speaking about Sara Gama, Bonansea, Lisa Boatin, Rosucci, Salvai, 5 players that were there since day one, and they won yesterday their 6th Scudetto in 8 years. 6 on 8 is incredible. This one was really special, because after we started the project, we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So it was a Juve that could only win. Well, this time it came after 2 years where someone else took the Scudetto, Roma. So doing it after 2 years of not winning it was super, super important. But yesterday, I also went live for a simple reason. Because, yes, I wanted to feel back what it means to win a Scudetto. I won a lot in my career as a supporter. But it's true that after 5 years of not winning it, I want to warm up. I want to feel that sensation again, that feeling of lifting that trophy in the air. A trophy that the women will lift in the Allianz Stadium against Inter on the 26th of May. Maybe we go live again with a watch-along, because I want to see again that Scudetto in the Allianz Stadium. And hopefully, really soon, we can take example from what the women are doing. Fantastic. A lot of people not believing it, but we believe in ourselves and we do something extraordinary in winning again the Scudetto. I can guarantee you that when we will win back, because I know that we will win it back, it will be fantastic, epic. Here on the channel we will celebrate like we never celebrated before. That being said, let's go towards the main topic of today, Antonio Conte, but also Igor Tudor in a way, because these are the two names that could possibly sit 25, 26 on the bench of Juve. Tutto Sport is telling us Tudor seduce, Conte avverte. Tudor is seducing, is flirting, is making people fall in love with him. Yesterday, in the open training session, a lot of applauses, chants, songs in direction of the Croatian coach. But on the other side, yesterday, in that press conference, well, Conte is warning. Alarm! Conte is the title on Corriere dello Sport. Yesterday in that press conference, he spoke shocking words of Antonio. The Napoli supporters, the Napoli world is totally upside down. They don't understand what is happening with their coach. He's leaving. What is happening after only 1 season? Antonio, that's not what you said to us. They are going crazy. They are about to battle to try to win a Scudetto, battling with Inter. But they're already now, in the month of April, extremely scared to lose some certainties, and that certainty is Antonio Conte. What did he say yesterday, to be clear? He said, look, I don't want to confirm all the things that I said, referring to the summer. We know it. That Kvara episode was also clear, isn't it? Asking a question without expecting an answer. I said that Napoli couldn't be, for me, a temporary team. It is not a temporary team. It's not like a bus stop, You enter that bus, after 1 halt, maybe 2 halts, you go away. This is not what Napoli is. These were the discussion that he said in the beginning. Remember, when he signed with Napoli. But then he continues saying, but I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to look like a liar. Someone that said something and then doesn't keep his words. But it's clear that during my 8 months at Napoli, I understood a lot of things can't be done here. These are the words of Antonio Conte yesterday. A bomba. A bomba. Why? Why before Monza Napoli? Why on the 19th of April? Why not waiting until the end of the season? Because these things, more or less, he already said them a few weeks ago. We know Antonio Conte. Why yesterday? Nobody understands that. And the timing is really a disaster according to me. But we know Antonio Conte. That's why I told you. Shocking, absolutely yes. Surprising, no. Look, Conte doesn't change. Conte will never change. Conte will always be the same. He has always been the same and will always be the same. If you take Conte, this is part of the package with all the beautiful promise that he can make. With all the words that he can say, I change in that perspective. He can't. It's stronger than him. When he feels that something is slipping from his hand, he starts to blame. And usually he starts with the ownership. The management, and this was not good, and this was the promise that you didn't maintain, and this, and this, and this. Guys, we know Antonio Conte the best, and then we were able to follow his career. 3 years at Juve, win, win, win. The 4th year, 2 days, and he leaves. Ciao. But Antonio Conte, it's not only that he woke up a certain moment that he started to say ID from Juve. After the first fantastic, beautiful season where we played only one competition and he didn't lose a single game, everything was beautiful. The sky was full of stars. It's from the second season when he started to lose a game here, when he was eliminated of that competition, that's where he started to attack. He attacks. He wants to attack. He wants more. He wants player, and I can say you that he's not the best scout on earth, because how many players that he mentioned actually totally flopped. Like, for example, Iturbe. He went totally crazy. He wanted Iturbe. Well, it started to attack, something that I personally never appreciate, because that's the club, that's the ownership that is paying your money. If you don't agree, you can speak about it. Of course, intramuros, between 4 walls, but then if you don't agree, you can leave. The door is there if you're not happy anymore. But on the other side, making it public before some games, I never understand Antonio Conte on that specific topic. But this is Antonio. If you want Antonio back, for the people that are asking, we want Antonio back, we want, you need to put that as a condition. You need to be aware about that. You know that Antonio Conte, after the first initial things that are not okay, he will go and he will attack. And maybe he will take his package and he will leave. So pay attention to that. Then there are other things that we need to speak about. Antonio Conte. We are all wanting Antonio because he's synonym of winning immediately the Scudetto, or at least come extremely close. Like the first year at Inter, he was second at -1 from Juve, and then he won in the second year. He won with Chelsea, he won with Juve, he won not with La Nazionale, but look at the work that he did. It's a synonymous of immediate boost, immediate impact, and he's fantastic on that. But on the other side, it's true that Juventus next year, even if we don't play Champions League, we will play a multiple competition. I think that we will play at the end Europa League, Conference League, Champions League, whatever, but one of the 3 competitions, Juventus will be there. So that means that anyway, you will have to manage 3 competitions, Coppa Italia on top of it. And you know that I'm not asking Antonio Conte to compete in Champions League in trying to win immediately at the first year, because he never won in Europe. We know that the only time that he did extremely well in Europe was in Europa League with Inter, because that COVID year, that particular year where at the end he had only to focus on that tournament after Serie A was over, you remember? And at the end, he even lost the final, something that Juventini are used to. We know it. But on the other side, I'm asking him to win the Scudetto if he comes back immediately. Also doing well in Champions League means going over the group stages and maybe playing 1, 2, 3, 4 games even more. Going to the quarterfinals, going to the semifinals. Why not? Can he do it? I am not sure about it. I still have my questions. That's why I'm telling you Antonio Conte at the moment is not changing. Look what he did this year at Napoli. At Napoli, he arrives, Coppa Italia, ciao, immediately. Move it away. We don't care about that useless competition. We go only for Serie A. If this year Inter wins, 0 trophies for Antonio Conte, with only one competition. You will tell me, Beppe, but they sold him Kvara. It's true. They replaced him with Okafor, that when they sent him in Germany, they said no, because medical stuff, I don't know. He's angry, Beppe, it's not okay, the promise that they made to him. But look at the market, the transfer market that they did. Because we are speaking a lot about Juve, 200 million and this and this. Look at the transfer market of Napoli this season. Look at it. Go in detail. So he's obliged, because now he's speaking, our objective is to qualify to Champions League and to annoy Inter. But qualifying to Champions League was also not a guarantee. You remember, these are the words of Antonio Conte when you're looking at the mercato that they did for his team, on a team that 2 seasons ago, not 10 seasons ago, was already winning the Scudetto with the most beautiful team on earth, play on earth, spectacular. Remember, IFTV is Napoli the best team of Italy ever. You remember these words and these videos, No, the spectacular gameplay. Did we see it at Napoli this season? No. With an entire week to prepare. We didn't see it. The package. Antonio Conte is a package. Now, on the other side, pay attention. There are not only negative things. He has a winning mentality, guys. He has a winning mentality. We know it from day one. And that also, you know that story, The daughter of Antonio Conte is called Vittoria. What does that mean, Vittoria? Win. The name of the daughter is win. He's obsessed with winning. And probably Juventus needs that at the moment. That obsession of winning that unfortunately went away. Winning. And Antonio Conte is a guarantee that immediately he's bringing you that. He's a real boost. He's an energy boost. You put him in La Continassa from day one, the players, they have an impact. They perform. They go to the max of it. And if they can't, they are pushed away. So you're obliged. And Antonio Conte on that one is an accelerator. It's an accelerator to the comeback that Juventus wants. It's already too long that we are not fighting for the Scudetto. It's already too long that we don't go over the 3rd spot. Antonio Conte could be that solution. He's a real Juventino. He also knows what Juve means. He perfectly knows it. And you know it. If he's with you, he's not with another team, which makes things also a bit more easy, because fighting against Antonio Conte for a Scudetto, it's tough, especially if he's not in a lot of competition. So if you have him on your side, it's not with the other team. Look, that's what I think about Antonio Conte. Do I want him? If you tell me, Beppe, you want Antonio Conte, I tell you, look, I don't care about the fact that he went to Napoli, he went to Inter. I don't care about that. They are professionals. Oh, what do you want? He went to Premier League. Chelsea, I think, Tottenham. At a certain moment, he had to train. He trained Inter, and he's doing it the best he can. I appreciated a lot of the respect that he showed when he was at Napoli, when people were asking him to jump, chi non salta, Juventino è. He said, oh, basta. You know my past, you know where I'm coming from, I will never do these kind of games. Please stop him immediately. Asking for respecting Juve, something that not a lot of people did at Napoli. Is it possible that he comes to Juve? Because that's the question mark. We don't know. And that's the second thing. One thing is sure, when Antonio Conte wants to leave, he leaves. He did it everywhere. He did it at Inter after the second year. He did it at Tottenham. You remember, because if you are not letting him go, he goes with auto-destruction mode. You remember that game on PlayStation 1? Destruction Derby. That's what he's doing, Boom, he's going crazy. So when he wants to leave, Antonio leaves. Of course, Aurelio De Laurentiis is one. When he doesn't want to let you go, he doesn't let you go. So there are two strong personalities. You see it? Antonio is speaking because these were their agreements. De Laurentiis is not speaking this year. Let's see at the end of the season. Because Antonio will say, if we win the Scudetto, I did it, not you, because you sold me Kvara. I asked you for a defender in January. You didn't bring me a defender in January. It's because of me. You want me to stay? Put the money on the table on top of everything that was invested. On the other side, Aurelio will say, oh, we already invested a lot. We are not a spending club. Napoli is not a spending club, has never been a huge, big spending club. So calma, let's see what kind of war will be at Napoli. Do I think that he can leave? He could leave. People are speaking about Milan, a possibility to Milan. That was already on Conte last summer. He didn't go there. I don't think that Conte-Milan is a beautiful match, especially that Milan now. Juve-Conte, is it a beautiful match? Well, it's tough, because do we have a winning team? No. But Juve is Juve for Antonio Conte. He still has his house in Torino. After so many years, he even changed house, going for another one, a bit more comfortable, a bit more. He has the house in Torino. It's true, he's coming from the south of Italy, from Lecce, but he's a Juventino, and he took Torino as his second city. He would run. If you went to Skull, he would run. Will he do it or not? I don't know. On the other side, we are speaking a lot about Antonio Conte, but we still have Igor Tudor. And Igor Tudor, I told you, must be respected. He knows really well what is his mission. His mission is bring back Juventus to the top four. And that's the only thing that matters now with Tudor. Yesterday there was an open training session, but he's smart, because yesterday, you remember, I wished to be here reporting you the tactical side. Did we work on the set pieces? Yesterday, 45 minutes of training session where it showed zero in terms of tactics, even to our own supporter. He said, no, we don't want to show what we are preparing for Parma, because he's focused. He knows that is the first condition to stay at Juve, arriving in the top four, but not the only one. The locker room, the management. There are so many different things that he needs to show, that he needs to prove, but he also knows that if there is another coach that is coming to Juve, another possibility, well, he has no chance. So Tudor is super focused on Juve. I know that a lot of people today, they will tell me, Beppe, let's keep Tudor, he's doing well. He's fantastic. That Juventinità, the press conferences, how he's managing the sideline with that big motivation. Look at how he's letting Kenan perform. Nico Gonzalez is a different player. Look at the 2 assists of Dusan Vlahovic. Look at this, look at that. Look at the 3-man defense with Kelly that is also performing. By the way, really appreciated by Tudor. Really appreciated, because he's doing the right movements in that 3-man defense. So there are a lot of things in favor of Tudor. Let's continue with him, Beppe. Why changing? Look, in my heart, I always told you, we started with Tudor. If he stays 10 years, I'm the most happy man on earth, because that means that he's doing extremely well. So keep Tudor, continue with Tudor, but pay attention, because we didn't lose yet. If on Monday, and I hope it's not happening, if on Monday we don't win, if we lose, let's see how many Juventini that today are on the Tudor train we don't change. They will say, let's change the coach now. So calma. I told you about Tudor. We wait until the end of the season. Let's see. Because the big question mark of Tudor is not that immediate impact for a short period. It's the long term that is a question mark, because he never showed us that. So it's Juve that needs to be extremely convinced about what to do. Tudor, Conte, or maybe another name that at the moment, at today, we don't know. What could that be, that name? Well, I don't know. Some people are saying Ancelotti. No. Some people are saying Guardiola. Bah, I don't know. Juventini, put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza. Juve.